All right, and now we move to the co-main event of the evening in the UFC's middleweight division. You have two former Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series combatants in the Damian Maia-trained Caio the Natural Borralho, who comes into the fight with a record of 11 victories and 1 defeat, going up against Armen Superman Petrosyan, who comes back with a record of 7 victories and 1 defeat. Now, I know some people are probably going to sit there and wonder why this is the co-main event. Like, why is this the co-main event and not maybe Michael Johnson and Jamie Malarkey? You know, Caio Borralho is new to the UFC. He's only had one fight in the UFC, and it was a decision victory, a technical decision because the fight had to get stopped early due to some low blows that happened on Caio's side. And the fight had to get stopped, but he won the fight via 29-27 technical decision over Gadzi Omar Gadziev. And you know, it was a good win. He looked very good in that fight, and it was a fight where he was expected to get out grappled and out wrestled against a very high level wrestler in Gadziev, and he was able to take him down. He was able to control the top position. He was able to get a reversal off the bottom and wind up on top and use his striking on the feet as well. He's very good at fading off to his rear left side and using that straight left hand. You saw him use that to set up a knockout on the Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series. Fade off to that rear side, boom, straight left, right hook, and he hurt him with that right hook and put him out. He's got power in both hands, a good kicking game, very good, solid left body kicks, left high kicks, and he's very good at using that lead hand. You know, he's not all power. He's a big guy. He's very built for the division, but he's not all about the power. He'll use that lead hand, boom, pop the jab, boom, pull back, lead right hook, jab, jab, pull back, lead right hook, straight left, jab, jab. He's using that lead hand, jab, hook, uppercut, lead uppercut, jab, left hand, right hook, jab, jab. He's using it to keep you at range, and he pulls his head back and keeps that rear side guard up pretty well, you know, at the same time. Keep that rear hand up, you know, catch the shots, pull back, boom. But his bread and butter is getting you on the ground, using his takedowns, and looking to set up a submission. He's 11-1 overall as a professional mixed martial artist, and we will pull up his record quickly. He's got 4 wins by KO, 3 by submission, and 4 by decision. So a lot of people who sit there and say that he's only a decision fighter, it's not true. I mean, he's got just as many knockouts as he does decisions, and he's got 3 submissions to go along with it. He's not super, you know, experienced when it comes to MMA, but neither is Armen Petrosyan. Petrosyan is more experienced in kickboxing, which I think can be a problem if Caio keeps it on the feet for as long as he may. Gadzi Omar Gadziev, he beat him via technical decision. He got a TKO over Jesse Murray on the Tuesday Night Contender Series, a decision over Aaron Jeffrey on the Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series as well. So he got 2 victories on the Contender Series, 1 by decision, unanimous decision, and 1 by TKO. He's got a decision over Wildemar Mateus Souza dos Santos. Man, that's a mouthful. He's got a decision over Yukaro Quiroz. He's got a submission via guillotine choke over Otavia Sagas. He's got an anaconda choke submission over Luis Carlos Alves. He's got a TKO over Douglas Nascimento. He's got a TKO over Luis Carlos Alves, and I believe he was on here earlier, right? Yeah, so he's got 2 victories over Alves, 1 via submission and 1 via TKO. He's got a rear naked choke submission over Edson Jr. and then a KO in his MMA debut. The only loss coming to Yao Carvalho at Brader Fight 3 via decision back in July of 2015. So the guy hasn't lost in a professional MMA since 2015. His only loss coming by way of decision. So he's never been finished. He's got 4 knockouts and 3 submissions. So he's got an overall 61% finish rate to I'm sorry, I'm not even doing that right? 63% finish rate to a 36% decision rate. So he is a finisher, but most of the time he plays it very smart, very tactical, and very technical. Now you look at Armen Petrosyan. He's got a lot of kickboxing experience, former kickboxing world champion, I believe. And in MMA, he's coming off of that split decision victory over Gregory Rodriguez, who is a very tough fight to get in your first fight in the UFC. He's very decorated, very experienced overall, and just a dangerous fighter. And that fight was back and forth. It was a war. But he was able to use that lead hand again. They're both very good with their lead hand. And Armen Petrosyan, very good with that check left hook. He's going to be looking to use that against the southpaw and Borralho, get that outside foot, check left hook, jab into the check right hook. I'm sorry. No, I'm right. Check left hook. Sorry, I was confusing myself. He's going to be looking to get to the outside foot of Borralho and use that check left hook over the right jab of Petrosyan. Petrosyan's going to be looking to come in, pop that jab, pop that jab, pop that jab. And he's going to be looking to use that check right hook over the jab. Boom. Check right hook over the left jab. Check right hook over the left jab. Body kick. Body kick. He's going to be looking to pop that, stay to the outside, open up the window for the right kick to the body, the right kick up top to the head, jab, lead left hook, right hand, jab, lead left hook. Very, very good lead hands for both guys here. I think that with the hooks and the check hooks, it's definitely on the side of Petrosyan, and I think we're going to see him use that against Borralho to open up the window for that right body kick, to open up the window for the front kicks, the knees to the body, but he's going to be looking to keep that outside foot. Now, that outside foot can also aid in the takedown attempts because it can allow him to get a deeper penetration step because you're already giving him the outside foot. So he might be able to shoot penetration step in, head on the outside, double leg, head on the outside, transition to head on the inside, back to head on the outside with the single legs. Look to get Petrosyan up against the cage. He's got very good lateral movement, though, does Petrosyan. He's not easy to back up in a straight line. He uses very good lateral movement up against the cage, and it might be a little bit hard for Borralho to trap him and get him in the over-unders, get him in the double unders, and look to set up his takedowns up against the cage. The problem is I do expect Borralho to be able to use his wrestling and grappling to take down Armen Petrosyan. It's going to be a tough fight on the feet. Like, there's no doubt about it that it's going to be a tough fight either way. I think Armen Petrosyan has more knockout power. I think his speed is better on the feet. But I also think with the lead hand of Caio Borralho, he has the ability to poke and prod with that jab. He's got good ability to manage the distance. Jab, 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 pull away, jab, left hook, jab, jab, pull away, jab, right hook. I'm sorry, because he's southpaw. 1-2 down the middle. He steps off very well to that rear side and opens up the window for the straight left down the center. He steps off to his rear side, boom, opens up the angle and lands the straight left. That fade off straight left is very good. And the check right hook to come back on it. He's got power, but I do think the power on the feet is going to side with Superman Armen Petrosyan. I do think that he has more power, more explosiveness, and definitely is the more dangerous guy on the feet. But at the same time, I think that Borralho is going to be looking to use that wrestling, looking to use that top game, looking to use the jiu-jitsu. The natural is going to be looking to use what he's naturally gifted at and take down Armen Petrosyan, get him on his back foot, get the takedowns, work from the top position, and eventually look to set up a rear naked choke submission, set up an arm triangle. Just look to get him in his wheelhouse and open up a submission. I think that's what we're going to see Borralho using. A lot of wrestling, a grappling heavy approach, and some takedowns. But he is overall decorated, whether it stays on the feet or goes to the ground. But I don't think he's going to want to keep it on the feet that long against Petrosyan, who is the more experienced striker and the more devastating kickboxer. I would say that Borralho is better with the straight power hand, and I think that Petrosyan is better with the lead hand and also setting up those power kicks, whether it's to the body, the head, or the legs. He's going to be looking to attack that inside low kick a lot against Borralho, but that can also open up for the takedown attempts. So I don't necessarily think we're going to see Petrosyan using as many kicks as you may be believed to anticipate. All right, sorry guys. So we'll go back to looking at the grappling stats. 1.96 takedowns per 15-minute fight for Caio Borralho. He's got an 80% takedown accuracy. And on the side of takedown defense for Armen Petrosyan, this is what I'm talking about. He's got a 37% takedown defense rate. Now you can look at Caio Borralho's takedown defense rate is sitting at a 75%. I don't think Petrosyan's going to be looking for takedowns, but I know that Borralho is going to be looking to set up takedowns, whether it's inside and outside trips, single leg takedowns, double legs. He's going to be looking to push Petrosyan up against the cage, time the lateral movement, and then look to set up trips against the cage. He got taken down by Gregory Rodriguez, and honestly, he got that takedown pretty easy. It wasn't like Armen Petrosyan fought it off extremely well. It wasn't like he had to fight it off and fight tooth and nail to stop the takedown. He got it pretty easy. I mean, it wasn't like he struggled much, and it's not like he got right up. And I think with a guy who's training under Damian Maia, who's got some of the best jiu-jitsu in the world. I think that takedown, top pressure, grappling game is going to be, the path to victory for Borralho. And I think he's going to use it early, use it often. I think the first round is going to be difficult because I do think that Petrosyan does have the power in his kicks to hurt Borralho, whether it's to the body, to the legs, attacking with the calf kicks. I think he's going to have to be careful at a distance because Petrosyan is dangerous. He's got some very, very solid and powerful striking. But I do think the grappling, the takedowns, the top pressure, the ground and pound, that's all going to be on the side of Borralho. And I think he sucks the life out of Armen Petrosyan the longer the fight goes on, uses that grappling, gets those takedowns in banks rounds. I could see a decision, but I'm actually, you know what? I'll go with the decision here. I could see a submission finish for Borralho because I think Petrosyan will give up his back and potentially open up for that rear naked choke submission. But I'm going to say that he just out grapples him, outworks him over the 15 minutes and gets a 29-28 unanimous decision. So my pick is the natural Caio Borralho to defeat Armen Superman Petrosyan via 29-28 unanimous decision. I think there could potentially be a round in there where Petrosyan outstrikes him, stuffs a takedown probably the first round. It might be a little bit hard for Borralho to weather the storm, but the longer the fight goes, it sides with the natural all day. So I'm going to go with Caio, the natural Borralho, to defeat Armen Superman Petrosyan via 29-28 unanimous decision. When you look at the odds for the fight, Borralho is actually a pretty big favorite, and I understand why. I think it's mainly siding off the grappling experience of Borralho, which is why he's such a heavy favorite. Both of these guys are going to be successful in the UFC. I mean, you got 7-1 versus 11-1. Both of these guys are going to be successful in the UFC. It might just take a little bit longer for Petrosyan to get that success under his belt because I do think Borralho is on the up and up trajectory, but it is dangerous. If you want to side with Petrosyan by knockout and put a bet on that prop, I'm not going to, call you crazy. I could see it, but I think Borralho is definitely the side here. He's sitting at a -200 to a +170 for Petrosyan. Like I said, I think that line is based off of the grappling and jiu-jitsu and wrestling experience of a Borralho. I think that the line should probably be like -180 to +160 or like +155. I think that's a better line, but it's not crazy to place Borralho at a plus or a -200. So I'll go with Borralho, the natural, to get that decision. Like I said, 29-28 unanimous decision over Petrosyan. And at -200, he's a good play and another solid pick for your parlays this week. So Borralho to defeat Petrosyan via 29-28 unanimous decision.